Hi, my name is Patrice and welcome to the Golden Helix Guild YouTube channel. Today we have with us Lynne Hartwell of Lunique Realm. Now you've heard of past life regressions. Lynne has developed a process called past life progressions. She's also a multidimensional healer. So let's welcome Lynne and learn what it is to be a multidimensional healer and find out what is a past life progression. Hi, Lynne.
Hi, how are you doing?
Great. So we talked about you being a multidimensional healer.
Yeah.
What does that mean, and how is it different from or similar to an energy healer?
Well, multidimensional energy healing is a combination of several different types of healing. I combine them together during a session because they reach a higher level of healing for a particular client than just one modality alone can do. So in essence, I'm just bringing in a greater level of healing per client. It is custom designed to what that particular client needs on that particular day. It is a form of energy healing. It's just a more complete form.
So you take different parts of different types of energy healing and
Correct.
mix it in, just like a chef would. Ingredients in the kitchen to make a
way
new
of putting it. Yeah, exactly. I can combine sound vibrational healing, the use of Tibetan bowls, the use of drumming. I also use different types of energy, light touch therapy, energy that is similar to Reiki, and it works very similar to Reiki. And I also use the medicinal grade aromatherapy as well. And they're in combinations that depends upon what the client's particular energy needs for that day.
So before we talk about past life progressions, which we're real excited to hear about today, would you please tell people your website so they can find out even more about you?
Sure. My website is www.luniquerealm, LUNIQUEREALM.com.
Okay, well, thank you, and I hope people check out your website. So let's get on with the past life progressions. Okay. You've developed this. So what is a past life progression?
Past life progressions are a combination of past life regression, energy healing, and a life empowerment session. And all this does is that it allows the client to understand what is blocking them in this lifetime, how it's connected to a trauma, a major event that occurred in a past lifetime, what they can do to move forward past the trauma, past the behaviors that are affecting them during this lifetime. And I also use energy healing techniques that help release the blocked energy. I help them understand why it's happening. I help them understand what they can do about it in this lifetime. It's empowering for them. I give them information or tools that will help them move forward and break old patterns so they don't repeat what they've been doing in the past that really wasn't working for them.
So this sounds very similar to how you put together multidimensional healing also.
It is.
So do you use hypnosis?
I actually don't. I am a psychic intuitive, and I am able to go back into the very cause, the very source of what is affecting a client in this lifetime. I can go back to the very lifetime that it occurred with them, what had happened, who was involved, how were they affected, and I'm doing this using my psychic intuitive abilities. So hypnosis is not even needed.
Now, do most people's problems in this lifetime show up as having an origin in a past lifetime?
It can. It can also be something that happened to them during their childhood. that they don't remember or they don't even realize has affected them to such a degree that it's affected them as an adult. But for many people that have repetitive behaviors, things that are going on in their lives or things that happen to them over and over and over again, that is usually an indicator that there's something else in a past lifetime, something more deeply embedded within their subconscious that needs to be revealed and needs to be released.
So once someone goes through this with you, can they go back to old behaviors?
They can, because especially if it's a pattern that they've been doing their entire lifetime. So what I do is I show them the behavior that they're currently involved in. It's things that they're currently doing that are not in their best interest. And I present them other ways, other methods, other solutions of getting past that, identifying when they are falling back into that behavior, and then finding better solutions so that they can move forward with greater happiness and joy and living the life that they really want to live.
So the difference would be that they would know what they're doing and then make a conscious choice. It wouldn't be something that they just do and not understand why it happens or that it's happening, except the response they're getting back.
It gives them a greater awareness. Right after a session, they may start falling back into the pattern and maybe falling back, for example, back into a depression or back into behaviors that cause them to feel bad about themselves. What I do is I help them be aware when this is happening. Oh, this is what's going on because I've been doing this for a while. I don't need to do this anymore. I'm going to do something else. And it helps them to identify when that behavior is happening so they can break free of it and move on.
Personally, I really like it when people talk about how important it is for the client to be completely integrated and involved in the healing process.
Exactly. I don't want to just do the fix for them. I do not believe that it helps in the beginning, but when it's a pattern and a behavior that they've been doing their entire lives, you're going to have a possibility of going right back and doing what you were doing before because you don't understand what's happening and you don't know how to behave any differently. What I do is I help the client. I give them the tools. They have to be engaged. They have to participate. They have to put the action in. And it helps them with not only understanding what had happened and why, but it's also giving them something that they can actively do. And it's part of the learning cycle where we learn through watching something, we learn through listening to somebody explaining something, we learn through actively engaging. And so the past life progressions work at a level that engages or uses all three of these modalities, these learning patterns. And it helps the client really move forward more successfully.
So it's kind of like coaching.
It is.
With energy work, with psychic intuition.
Yes.
It's a very unique combination. So would you tell us of a case of a successful past life progression?
Actually, I have one that fits right in. One client had her entire life. She was a recluse. She was shut in. She couldn't work. She had no friends. She hadn't had a relationship, even a remotely healthy relationship for her entire life. And she had gotten to the point where she was completely shut in. When I worked with her, I helped her understand the connection between a past life experience, I'll put it that way. Lot of abuse, sexual, physical, emotional, and that trauma was never resolved in that lifetime. Her successive lifetimes since that, up until this current lifetime, it was the same patterns. She could not function with society, with other people, and she had never gotten beyond the abuse. So in this lifetime, I helped her understand what had happened. And also, too, she, in this lifetime, was suffering from severe insomnia. She was having these nightmares. It's like a repetitive nightmare where the same thing happens over and over and over again, where she was afraid to go to sleep. So she couldn't function very well. And I connected that dream, that nightmare, to the event that occurred in her past lifetime, that abuse, a series of abuses. She is like a light bulb went off in her head. She understood the dreams. She understood why. I helped her with connecting what has occurred in her lifetime this time, her inability to really be able to feel comfortable and safe around other people, the nightmares that were happening. I did energy healing to help release that trauma, that energy that was surrounding her. And then I also gave her the tools to help her move forward. Better ways of making friends, feeling safe, going outdoors again. Ways of achieving a job, getting a job when she had been out of the workforce for a long time. And also how to meet members of the opposite sex and start forming healthy relationships with them. And to this day, she has friends. She has a job that she's had for years now. She is engaged. It's a very, her life is 360 degrees different. She is so, she's a very good friend of mine now. She is just totally different than when I first met her.
So you helped her reclaim her life.
Absolutely. She is, and she'll say that she is empowered. She is so confident, and that she's just not afraid anymore.
So what is the average length of a session?
These sessions will run about an hour and a half, and in this we go through the connection of what is not working in the client's life at this point in time, in this lifetime, the connection to the past lifetimes. We will also go through an energy healing session, and we will also start discussing information, tools, methods to be able to break free of these old habits, old behaviors, and to be able to move forward.
And how many sessions? Or is that dependent on the person and their situation?
That's a very good question. And it does depend upon the client and their particular situation. Most sessions will run either 1 to 3 sessions in order to have the client be ready, be able to move forward successfully.
That quickly?
Yes. And this is because I go to the source. We go right to the root of the problem, and then I'm doing the energy healing and helping to remove the blocks that are holding the client back.
So how can someone reach you? Just tell us your website again.
It is www.LUNIQUEREALM.com or LuniqueRealm.com.
Now you are in Connecticut.
That's correct.
No, you're in Massachusetts.
I'm in both. So you are right both times.
If someone is seeing this and they are across the country, can you do this by Skype or some?
Absolutely. This can be done over the phone and by Skype. And Skype is a good tool because we're able to see each other. You're able to see me. I'm able to communicate with you. But over the phone works just as well because I am working with your energy. I am able, because I'm a psychic intuitive, I don't have to be physically in the room with you to be able to work with you. So the phone or Skype sessions absolutely are possible.
Well, that sounds great, and I hope there are many people who look you up and get help that they may not have been able to get before.
I am here for whomever is seeking this type of change, and this is part of my life's purpose. I am here to help others empower themselves, to help others change their lives dramatically, but in ways that allow them to live the lives they were truly meant to live.
Thank you, Lynn. I hope we see you again.
Thank you.